Hey, Blue Table fans, I'm working on a Tau army, and here are the first three models. It's 3 battlesuits, and these are 3D prints made by an artist named Piper Makes. Easy to find her on Patreon, and they're awesome. These files are absolutely amazing. I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. So first off, there are loads and loads of options with these guys. And I printed out 9 of each weapon for these 3 guys. So it was a total of 54 different weapons. And they're not magnetized yet, so you may see a few things actually spontaneously fall off. The person that makes these leaves 16th-inch holes for magnets in them. And here's how they work. They have these sort of slots. And the slots are so perfectly designed that with a few layers of paint on them, they will actually, well, it didn't hold. But most of the time, they hold inside the slot. So they definitely hold up top. They're these shoulder-mounted slots as well. Now, I had to custom brew these, in fact, let's look at these guys from the top. Doesn't that look great? That's a shield generator. And I'm going to make a sort of a Tau thoughts about the new 10th edition rules video. So I think the piece of Wargear that they can have, shield generator, I think is the best one for them. And we're actually going to talk about those a little bit more. Hold on. These actually do peg in quite nicely. So anyway, I guess I shouldn't have messed with this. But they are going to be magnetized. Yep, that did not work. All right, anyway. So you've got 2 regular guys, a leader guy, and that's kind of how the unit comes. Now, this guy here, this is the leader. He has slightly different armor, and he has side slots, which look just ridiculously fantastic. Look at it from above. Looks ridiculously fantastic with the missile launchers, which are just great. And like I said, hidden in the backs of the weapons. Whoa, okay, I'll have to re-glue his arm on. That's a little embarrassing. So in the backs of the weapons, there's a little 16th-inch hole there you can see. And I've done our regular wasteland bases with some decorations and battlefield detritus and stuff. So I'm really pleased with how they turned out. This was my first time putting them together, so obviously, you know, I had to figure out how everything fit. And there you go. All right. So, and they have absolutely loads and loads of configuration on them. Each one of them has 4 host points. And in fact, you know, we may as well just take a look at the battlesuit card here. Here you go, Crisis Battlesuits. So right now in 40K, there's no codexes out, not even one. There's indexes, so all the rules for all the armies are out, which is great. Everyone is just diving in, and they're going to tournaments, and it's just really a fantastic way to do it. So instead of a codex, you can buy a much less expensive set of reference cards. And of course, everyone howls and complains about this or that, but generally, it's done really well. So Crisis Battlesuits come in groups of 3 or 6. And they have the turbojets ability, which gives you basically an automatic 6 inches on their advance roll. Now, with a Cold Star Commander, all their weapons become assault. So they can move 18 inches, because Cold Star gives them at plus 2 inches, and still shoot all their weapons, which is superior mobility. Now, one thing I don't know is, do they lose this ability when the leader gets it, or is the leader slower, or does the leader gain this ability? So Cold Star Commander does not have that. But anyway, so basically, the way it's set up, you have like a zillion options back here. However, basically you have 4 slots, and the way they're running it now is you don't pay individually for things. You can just pick whatever you want, and it's the same flat cost. So in a way, they've kind of made it a little bit like Power Level. I love it because you can just whip these cards out, pick 6 cards, And it takes no time at all to make an army list and hit the ground running, which I absolutely love. And no looking up, wait, did I take this piece of war gear with him this time? Well, you know, because you're going to be able to look at your model and literally see what they have. So basically, they can get, there's 3 different options for systems on them, and then there's like 6 different options for weapons. But you can only take 3 weapons, you can't take 4 weapons, which I would love it if they took 4 weapons. In fact, there was a bit of a lost opportunity here because they didn't allow them, they didn't change things up. Every edition, they could change kind of what a unit does and how they work. Because they did it at the beginning when they created the Tau at all, I think in like the year 2000 or something like that. So anyway, basically you can have, the war gear that you can have is you can have battlesuit sports system, which is they can shoot in the turn they fell back. And each individual guy can have different things. You could take all 3 on every single battlesuit, but the problem then is you'd only have 1 slot you'd have open for a weapon. You'd have 1 weapon that had these abilities, but I don't know if the abilities are good enough to not just have another attack. The other one is weapon sports system, which is you ignore modifiers to your attack rolls. What springs to mind is cover. Or you can have a 4-up invuln save. And frankly, I think the 4-up invuln is definitely the way to go, because every 4-up you roll, you're discarding a whole attack. And in order to kill off the 4 wounds that each of these guys have, it's really just better to have that save. And you literally have to take a system because you can't take a 4th weapon. If it were me, I would just take the 4th weapon. So there you go. I'm going to talk a little bit more on another video about these. Oh, let's talk about the color scheme on these guys. So I didn't want to do the typical thing. I could do white, which is done to death. I could do gray, which actually is pretty good. Or I could do sort of the sandy brown that they typically are. And bright colors like blue don't make sense. Red, I've seen Tau being done in red, but I've seen like a zillion of those, so no thanks. So I went with a military green, and in fact, let me just grab the Vallejo paints that I used. There's a lot of them. I actually wrote it all down, because when you're first making a color scheme for a unit, well, that's kind of like the rules for the entire army. So my basic color is not that. Where is it? Here it is. All brown violet by Vallejo. And then I mix in like half white and then edge it. And then, of course, black with basalt gray is the background color there. And then light gray on top of that. I don't have that out. Let's see, heavy red for the reds. I love heavy red. It's starting to become a staple color at Blue Table Painting. Highlight of gory red. I was going to do carmine, but actually it looks really good. Look at this guy's helmet. I'm really embarrassed that arm fell off. Okay, so there's that. And then for the yellows, I use, where is it? There was a color. Huh, it disappeared. It's, oh, there it is. Brown sand is the base for the yellow, so you can't just put yellow straight on black. So you got to have brown sand on top of that. And then I put, oh my gosh, Sean, get your act together. Here we go. I'm trying a new color in the lineup. It's called Filthy Brown, game color, and it's basically this really super rich yellow color. And then on some places, I highlight that up with sun yellow. So there's the 2 yellows. Not dark green. Turquoise is a highlight color, light turquoise. Earth is for the base. Charred brown is for the base. And then I've used tinny tin subtly, but I don't know if I like to use it. That's still up in there. So yeah, basically these are my colors for the army right here. Not too bad. All told, they probably have like 10 colors on them, so they are quite simple. I love the military green on them. I think it's really working. And next up, I'm doing 3 ghost keels because they are insane in this edition, and they seem like a lot of fun to play, and they're really cool models. And I can't wait to show them to you. All right, thanks for tuning in. Oh, yeah, about color scheme. The green and yellow. Green and yellow is one I went with, obviously, and I think it works really good. It has that pop, but still has that sort of military utility look to them.